America's Mayor live from Palm Beach, Florida. Although in back of us is a clip of the road into Gaza,
Right.
and those are people, Palestinians, presumably returning. Unfortunately, not this group, but a large group who were released have already made a mockery of the agreement by slaughtering purported enemies of theirs, their own people. In one group alone, I think they killed 29 people, and another one 72 people. They carried out public executions, and the agreement clearly says that they have to demilitarize. Well, they have violated the agreement. I know we focus on the violation being failing to return the bodies, which is also outrageous, made even more outrageous by the fact that they did return one body that was the body of a Palestinian. Now, that's either a cruel joke or it gives you an idea how profoundly stupid they are. They are profoundly stupid. And nobody wants them, not even their own people. The only people who want them are the communist, Marxist, educated dummies who pay millions of dollars for an Ivy League education because they pay all that money to get brainwashed. Yep. And they actually believe that they're talking about, freedom. Well, Hamas is back, and they're killing Palestinians, jerk-offs. You want to have another parade? You want to leave your 57 gender class at Harvard and go parade for them? Or how about at Columbia? You want to do a Kill the Jews parade? Right. Well, we've got one of them running for mayor in New York. We got a guy running for mayor in New York who basically might as well say he wants to kill the Jews. New York was one of the biggest Jewish cities in the world. It still is. I'm not sure there are more people there than in Tel Aviv. When I was mayor, there were, and I was the mayor of the largest Jewish city in the world, and damn proud of it, and helped enormously because of it. And I'm damn proud of Israel. And I am shocked at what is allowed in New York in terms of anti-Semitism. I mean, we should have been over with anti-Semitism a long time ago. And they're progressives. My backside, they're progressives. These are Neanderthals, not progressives. The whole idea that here's what they do, and they learned this from Marx. And boy, if you want to really read about it, read 1984, which is the Commissar of Language. The Commissar of Language. I mean, remember, we just named the Department of Defense, Department of War. You know what it's named in 1984, the book? The Department of Peace. The department that conducts war is called the Department of Peace. If you're an honest person and the communist running the government is a killer, you're the killer, he's the innocent person. You saw it all with the Bidens. Every perverted, dishonest thing they did, they tried to attribute to Republicans, which Republicans didn't do, but they did. So Michael Goodwin, distinguished columnist for the New York Post, and one of the smartest guys, certainly in New York and America, says that Madnami's smoking gun is his outrageous reaction to the end of the war in Gaza and the return of 20 living Israeli hostages. In his statement, Mandami's statement, he never mentioned the Hamas invasion of Israel on October 7, 2023. He also didn't mention President Trump's heroic efforts to bring peace and get the hostages back. Instead, he started off with a word salad double talk. Today's scenes of Israelis and Palestinians are profoundly moving. Israeli hostages being freed and families reunited after years of fear, uncertainty, and torture. Sounds one-sided, doesn't it? But then he really couldn't restrain himself from being the communist Islamic extremist that he is. We have watched as our tax dollars have funded a genocide. You're right. We funded Hamas through the UN. The Jews didn't conduct a genocide any more than our fighting the Nazis was a genocide. We've watched as our tax dollars have funded a genocide. The moral and human cost will be a lasting stain and requires real accountability of our collective conscience and our government. Oh, come on. You couldn't find a single word denouncing one of the worst terrorist groups in the world that as soon as they got out of jail, couldn't wait to start killing people. It's been too long since they killed somebody. I was brought up to kill. So is every Palestinian. That doesn't mean there aren't good ones, but they're the exception. So my rule is they don't get the benefit of the doubt. I assume that Palestinians want to kill me until they prove that they don't. Oh, by the way, so does the King of Jordan. So does the president of Egypt. So does the Ayatollah. None of them. So does Qatar. The minute Trump said, get them out, Qatar got rid of them so fast it'd make your head spin. The only ones they took were the billionaires. They're not going to take the ones we're going to see shooting and killing people. So before we get to that, I do want to put in a warning that the Navy, which is now going through its 250th year, our Navy is smaller than the Navy of China. Should not be the case. It is still considered to be superior, but sometimes superior doesn't work when you're outnumbered, and we shouldn't be outnumbered. And the president and Pete Hegseth have made shipbuilding a top priority in the 2026 Pentagon budget. And one of the main reasons that we don't build ships anymore, we don't have the workers. People don't want to work doing that. So part of this movement toward trade schools and that the president is doing all has a purpose here. And it's all leading to the kind of buildup in our military that we had to do before World War II, and the disarming we did after World War I. You can see it with the AI. You can see it here with the military. And this should be supported by everyone. We need a 2-ocean Navy in order to preserve our safety. When people misinterpret isolationism, and I don't know what isolationism is, to be you don't get involved in wars. Like hell you don't. You don't get involved in wars you shouldn't be involved in. But when you do get involved in wars, you make them pay so bad they never go to war again with you. And you have a military that is so big, so powerful, so relentless, and such good killers that nobody's going to take them on. Generally, when people see drag queens walking around in gowns in an army, they don't get too scared. I think Pete made a very good point of that. The memorial yesterday to Charlie Kirk was absolutely beautiful on his birthday. I thought Erica's comments to Charlie Kirk was a martyr for truth and freedom. And from Socrates to St. Peter, from Abraham Lincoln to Martin Luther King, those who changed history the most, and he really did, have always risked their lives for causes they were put on earth to defend. That describes Charlie as best as I've heard. And it was a beautiful ceremony yesterday, and I want to thank the president for going to great lengths to do it, because remember, he had to come back overnight when he should have stayed 2 more days in order to do this, but he wanted to make sure he did it on his birthday. To tell you the truth, if I were hanging out with those guys, I'd want to get back to. But he seems to get along with them. Marco Rubio is doing something really great. He's pulling the visas of foreign nationals who have made incendiary comments about the assassination of a great American, as people who obviously don't really give a damn for America. They were from Argentina. The Argentinian declared Kirk devoted his entire life to spreading racism, xenophobia, and misogynistic rhetoric. I want you right now to take out a pencil and paper, and I want you to write out misogynistic. And then, after we take a break, I'm going to ask you what it means, misogynistic, because that'll give me a chance to look it up. I have the foggiest idea what it means. I can spell it because I know Latin and phonetics, but I don't know what it means. Misogynistic. Ted, don't look. You don't know what misogynistic means either.
I mean, it's one of those words, right, that came out of nowhere the last 10 years.
Well, I mean, a long time ago, I learned xenophobia when I was accused of being.
Yeah, you were a xenophobe.
I went to the doctor. I was the mayor. They said I was a xenophobe.
Oh, you have
I was xenophobic.
Oh,
you're xenophobic. I thought somebody saw something. So I went to my doctor. I said, Doctor, I'm xenophobic. What can you give me for it? The only way you cannot be xenophobic, become a Democrat.
You might be the original.
No. But yeah, I probably
right, because I didn't know it
also,
until 2016. That's when I learned what it was.
Also, they did the mustache on me.
Did they?
Yeah, the ones
you?
But the one they really
the guy who prosecuted Nazis.
Yeah, I actually put 2 Nazis in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A way to.
Jeez, a Catholic New Yorker, right?
Do you know the one that backfired on him though? Think about it. What would have backfired on him in New York?
In New York, what would backfire?
Even if it's Democrat.
Even if it's a Democrat.
Call me Mussolini.
Ooh.
Italians went nuts. The Italians went nuts. The Italians went nuts. They went crazy.
What percent of Italians vote Republican nowadays, would you say?
Oh, God.
Compared to, I mean, back then you probably had the blue collar Reagan Democrat.
The best way to describe it is all this intelligent, sane ones.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Irish.
Right.
Irish was backbone of the Democrat Party. Chip O'Neill, John F. Kennedy. I got to believe the Irish Catholics are majority Republican.
Right.
Right. I mean, why would they be in favor of a party that's anti their religion? And even the people who claim to be part of their religion sell it out day in and day out.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of New York mayor, I don't know if now's the time, but we have the current frontrunner for mayor, Zoran Mamdani. He actually went on Fox News of all places. He was just on Fox News.
How do they treat him?
Let's play the clip. I haven't even seen the full clip yet myself.
I mean, this is really good. I can't get on Fox News.
Imagine
I'm
that.
barred.
They got Mamdani
But
on.
a communist Islamic extremist is okay.
It's absurd. But let's play the clip.
Should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza.
Into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker.
But, okay, I want to get to that, absolutely. But do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there is peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety. And
Wow. So he refused to take what I think we've all agreed on this deal, right? This guy wants to be a leader, one of the highest profile leaders.
Should she have required him to answer the question?
Right. That's another good point.
Shouldn't she have said, I'm tired of this. I ask you a question. If you don't want to answer it, just tell people you don't have the courage to answer it.
Right.
And if you do want to answer it, answer it. Instead of giving us the gobbledygook bullshit that you're giving us, which is typical of an Islamic terrorist communist.
Right. How can you treat this guy with kid gloves? You got 3 weeks left until the election. This guy wants to be one of those most high profile people in the country, right? When you're mayor of New York City, and he refuses to.
Is that all they asked him?
We'll try to find some other.
All right,
clips from the interview. Yeah.
look for other parts of it. But I really do find it amazing that they don't. I'm banned. Charlie Kirk was banned, although now they love Charlie.
Right now, it's every show, every hour.
And they put I'm banned because I think of my position on the 2020 election. And they believe that I misled them. I could argue they misled me.
They misled the whole country when they called
and the
Arizona.
difference between me and them is I tell the truth. And lots of their people who testified in order to save the company lied their backsides off.
Right. Just
Not
absurd.
exactly profiles in courage.
Right.
Profiles in making money, can't lose my job. The ones you see who are not there, who used to be there. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well
So
said.
we're going to take a
Short break.
and then we will be right back. U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because they like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans. No Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee. This is Rudy Giuliani, and we're back with America's Mayor live. Behind us there, you see the exodus of people, not the exodus, I guess, the entry of people into Gaza or back into various parts of Gaza. Not the place where people are being shot up like animals by the people who promised to demilitarize. Now they say they didn't promise to demilitarize. So that part of the 20-page agreement, I guess, is a lie.
Right.
We were talking about Mondani. What you should know is, and find out if the brave reporters on Fox asked him exactly who is Nival Roy Singham. You should know him because his daughter founded Jews for Zohan. He also has given personally thousands of dollars to Mondami. Alicia Goodwin, who's his niece, has given thousands of dollars to Mondami and $250,000 to a Mondami PAC. And that was given by Omar Hassan and Mohammed Javed. They are a part of a firm which is considered a national security risk by the United States because of its close ties with the Red Chinese. Sound like Biden and Tampon Tim? The company is controlled 10% by one of the major communists close to Xi Jinping. Also, this guy Singham is a Chinese-based billionaire who cooperates and works with the Chinese government and has funded Marxist rallies and anti-Israel rallies in Los Angeles. He was one of the Columbia protest funders, and he and his niece have given thousands to Zohan and over $250,000 to the PAC. He's also gotten money from Islamic extremist supporting groups such as the Council on American Islamic Relations. He got $100,000 from Unity and Justice Fund. He got money from CARE, which was an unindicted co-conspirator in the Holy Land Foundation terrorism case. 5 of those leaders were convicted of giving Hamas more than $12 million, and they were sentenced to decades in prison. And as a rapper, did you know he was a rapper? He rapped a song saying, "My love to the Holy Land 5, you better look them up." These are the 5 Hamas killers who were the 2017 song. We'll see if we can find it. This is absurd.
Crazy.
That I'm reading this is, I didn't think you could get more absurd than Tampon Tim. This is more absurd than Tampon Tim.
Wow.
Mondami is no Manchurian candidate, the Post says. He's an outright socialist and Jew hater. He's not a socialist. He's a communist.
Right.
Well, okay, a socialist and a communist can be the same thing. In his case, it is. What do they do this euphemistic garbage for?
Right.
And did she challenge him on all this money he's getting from Red China?
Oh, well, I'm looking.
Nobody ever challenged Tampon Tim on that either.
Let me see if we can get another clip from that. I'll work on that, Mayor. This happened tonight, just hours ago.
The NATO is getting together. Looks like tomorrow they're going to vote on substantial additional funds to the prioritized Ukraine requirements list. Fund 4, the prioritized Ukraine requirements list. And I think you probably during the day heard the president say, or the president is seriously considering giving them Tomahawk missiles. Some leak somewhere said, if we do, we may not have enough. Now, first of all, I don't know who the hell is leaking that we may not have enough Tomahawk missiles. If we don't, we shouldn't be leaking it. We should be building them. And the person leaking them should get, I don't know, maybe he should join Benedict Arnold.
Right.
What the hell are you telling our enemy? If we do, if we don't, I don't believe that's true, by the way. Everything that I know would tell me the opposite of that. But if you're leaking that,
Right.
you shouldn't just get fired. You should go to prison for the rest of your life.
Bingo.
It would stop it real quick. Now, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
I don't know what I had never heard of Bad Bunny before the Super Bowl thing. I have no idea who he is. He doesn't mean a damn thing to me. And I wouldn't, under pain of torture, listen to his music because I consider that music an abomination of music, a desecration, sacrilegious. Music is something beautiful from God, not this crap. Like Zandomi Dami. But exactly what is the thinking of the woke NFL? And I'm being nice calling them woke. And their airhead commissioner, Roger Goodell, supporter of Black Lives Matter. What's their thinking in booking a guy for the Super Bowl who will not perform in America? Where is he going to do it from? Where? From the Soviet Union or from China? He doesn't perform in America. He made an exception. How much did he get for the exception? What does it cost to sell out this creep's principles?
It's all
and
the table.
What country does Goodell belong to? I mean, does he want to join another country? I mean, might as well. He doesn't like our cops. He doesn't like our flag. He was perfectly okay with all those people taking a knee. He might have done it once.
We got to go back because I think you're right.
I think
know
he may have done it once.
owners did. But should we hear? This is Bad Bunny on Saturday Night Live.
Is this when he was still in America?
Doing the Super Bowl, and
When was
I
it?
know that people all around the world
Just
who
last
love
week.
my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío, más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar. And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show.
So he's telling us learn Spanish.
Okay, and what did he say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Because I don't know Spanish. This guy is telling us he's going to perform.
I need to learn Spanish.
Yeah, and he's
in
telling
America?
us in America, if you want to know what I said, learn Spanish. And you got 4 months to do it because I'm playing at your halftime show.
And he's going to do it in Spanish.
I get. I mean, he's.
Well, why don't they have him? Why don't they have him perform in Spain then?
Right, but it gets worse, Mayor.
May I?
This is going to bother. Okay.
We're going to spend a lot of time on this. There's a lot of time to deal with this, but I want to start it now. I made a pledge, not worth very much, just me, not to watch the Super Bowl. I never not watch the Super Bowl unless it's something critical comes along. And I enjoy watching the Super Bowl. I do despise the wokeness of Major League Sports. I have the same problem with baseball. I have the same problem with Red Chinese basketball. Hockey, maybe not. The Canadians booing our national anthem, I don't know. We half started that. They half started that. It's a little different. But they shouldn't be doing it.
Right. Well, here.
It doesn't make me, I mean, I always love Canadians. You stop booing my national anthem, I'm sorry. But I ain't going to Canada. I'm not going to spend any of my money there if you're booing my national anthem. I'm not booing your national anthem. Even though I think you had one of the biggest jackasses in the history of the world as prime minister. What bunch of crazy creeps could elect anybody like that? Well, except the people that elected the idiot mayor of Chicago or the moronic mayor of Boston or the nitwit in Los Angeles who's in Uganda when the city's burning down. Oh, maybe they're not so stupid.
Well, Mayor, here's Bad
Maybe
Bunny.
I better shut up.
Here's Bad Bunny, and tell me if these actually might be your seats. But here's this guy, Bad Bunny. This was at a Yankee game, I believe, last series, appearing to sit during God Bless America. Gotta get the volume up on this.
Well, then he's sitting right in back of the SNL.
So you think those might be your old? I don't want to.
They are my old seats.
That's gonna bother you even
At
more.
least a quick analysis of it would say they're my old seats, because I had the first 4 seats in from the aisle,
Yep. That's the aisle.
one row up,
And that's the second row.
one row up, and in front of me was Saturday Night Live had the seats in front of me. It could be
And SNL.
that SNL also got those seats, or it could be that over a period of time, when I got out of those seats, they took them. Because in a way, those seats are better because you can see the ball better. You can, if you really are a baseball purist, you see the pitch better. You miss a little of the pitch because of the screen.
Really?
I got those seats after I was mayor, because I used to sit next to the dugout when I was mayor. And then I always wanted, when I wasn't mayor, to be behind the catcher, because I prefer sitting behind the catcher. Because I think, so I would sit, you see the guy with the red glasses? No, yeah, either the guy with the red glasses or the one next to him is where I would sit, because you get pretty close to a perfect view of the pitch from there. You're not going to have any distortion.
It's like right behind it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's really, I mean, I sat there from 2003 to who the hell knows when, but I watched some of the greatest pitchers, 110, 105 mile an hour fastballs, the unbelievable magic of Mariano Rivera. What I describe Mariano's pitch as a knuckleball at 95 miles an hour.
Right.
I mean, the one saving grace of a knuckleball, if you can time it right, is it comes in around 65 miles an hour. Then it drops down like a load of crap.
Yeah.
And you can't find it. And despite all of your instincts to tell you not to swing at it, you do. I could never understand how Wakefield used to beat the Yankees. I think I might have gotten those seats just to watch Wakefield and Mariano. I couldn't understand. I would say to myself, I wouldn't swing at that.
Yeah.
And then some of the greatest hitters in baseball got up and swung at it. But when you sit there, you realize how. I never, as a baseball player, ever saw. I mean, I never played in leagues where people threw a major league knuckleball is extremely rare. Right. Most pitchers cannot throw it. I've been shown how to do it. I cannot do it. I can show you how to do it. If you gave me a ball, I can show you how you do it. And there are different ways of doing it. The old way of doing it is to put your knuckles around the ball like that. Now, the minute you do that, you take velocity off the ball. Because if you can hold it like this, you're going to throw it much faster. So I would say the fastest knuckleball, 70 miles, 75 miles. So think about that. These guys can hit nowadays 100 mile an hour fastball, 400 feet. Justice and the guys on the Yankees, who I know best, will take a 100 mile an hour fastball and turn it around to 120 mile an hour drive out of the stadium. And there's not a great knuckleball pitcher that I know of right now in baseball. Wakefield was the last.
I was just going to ask.
Wakefield was really the last one.
We had Steve Sparks in Detroit for a while. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah, but he wasn't
a star.
Wakefield was dominant.
Yeah,
when he wanted to be. Then, of course, you know what happens with a knuckleball pitcher. And unfortunately for the Red Sox, it never happened when he played us. Every once in a while, everybody would get up and hit a home run. Somehow they would either it wasn't magically breaking, or the batters exercised this complete discipline to really watch the ball and wait for one in the strike zone, and they would kill him. But that would happen once every 10, 12 times at most. He was he was the last great knuckleball pitcher. And I'll give you a list of all of them someday.
Right. Matt Waldron's currently pitching. He's a knuckleballer.
Well, we're going to have to look at his pitching.
But that's it. Like you said, you don't really hear much about knuckleballers anymore.
No, I mean, no, but I mean, they really.
R.A. Dickey would have been the last one.
They're really deadly. And to be consistent is hard. That's why you don't hear about them.
Yeah.
Meaning for all of their work and whatever, they almost can't be sure it's going to work.
Yeah.
They can't.
But when it does,
to
right?
tell you the truth, it's true of all pitchers.
Yeah.
Even a pitcher. I mean, who was the most consistent pitcher I ever saw? Probably Sandy Koufax.
Rivera. Oh, not.
No. Rivera was the most consistent
Closer.
ever.
Starting pitcher, Sandy Koufax.
Of people I saw, consistent.
Yeah.
I didn't say the greatest. He could be. He's in the top 10,
He's definitely
top
up there.
5.
He's up there.
But consistent, like he didn't really blow up very much.
Yeah.
Even the great pitchers, they'd always have a game. All of a sudden, 10 runs.
Yeah.
I saw the Yankees get
Clemens.
8 runs off Clemens in 1 inning. when he was a young pitcher with Boston. And dominant.
Right.
But what about the picture of Donald Trump? Do you think our good president, who we love, should have gotten upset with the Time magazine cover?
Absolutely. And we're trying to pull it up here. It's taking.
I think so too. I think it's a cheap shot. But they're trying. I'm not going to even show the picture.
Okay. Well,
it shows it. They take it from here. So
who does that? It shows all of his neck like coming.
So
again.
the guy is 78 years old. Of course, he has some wrinkles in his neck. It also shows that he didn't get a neck job like me. I didn't get a neck job. There are a lot of these sissy boys on television. They go
Is that
and get
really?
a neck.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh,
I thought that was for girls.
We have mutual friends who've had one. Okay, and I can show them to you. And they do. And they do look. The minute you see them, they look about 5 years younger.
Okay, well that's
here's what it does, Ted. Watch.
Yeah.
It does that.
They basically they lift the skin up.
Put your head down. Yeah.
Get rid of that.
Get rid of that.
Okay.
Which looks good now because it's not wrinkled on you. But on an older man, this becomes wrinkled.
Right.
And they also have them, and they have them at the worst angle to see that.
Right.
Who the hell shoots somebody from the left-hand side looking up?
Right.
That had to be done on purpose.
I've never seen an angle. Have we ever seen a picture of anyone famous like that?
And it was a relative, as he pointed out, it's probably the only good article they ever wrote about it. So I had to do something to balance it with that piece of shit.
He definitely understood why. And so you don't want to bring it up. I was working on bringing it up, but maybe we'll probably save.
Just don't buy the magazine. That's the answer to all of you good conservatives. The power of the purse. If you have to, some things in a way you're required to buy. Like I have to read the New York Times. And I'm not going to steal it. I'm not going to steal it. So I have it online. I'm sure I pay online, right? For it. So I got to pay for the Times. And then I have this other app that gets me every paper I want, but I got to pay for it.
Press Reader.
What?
It's called Press Reader.
Yeah, I get every paper I want. And every day I scan some paper. Like today, I scanned the Boston Globe.
Yep.
And got us a couple of stories from there. A couple of days ago, Portland. I do Texas a lot. Just to see what real people are thinking. And
that's funny. That's a good. I mean,
Letitia James seems to be going the way of my erstwhile prosecutor in Georgia.
Fanny.
Who was the first one to call her Fanny the Hoe?
Fanny the Hoe.
Who was the first one to call her that?
I'm looking at him.
Yeah. Fanny the Hoe now is in more and more trouble, more and more investigations.
How about that boyfriend of hers? You knew him. You got to talk to him up close and personal. You and Nathan Wade.
Nathan Wade,
the boyfriend,
questioned me for 3 hours in the grand jury. When the grand jury concluded, I had to sign 6 autographs for the grand jury. They indicted me, not this grand jury, a different grand jury. They asked six and 2 pictures. When that concluded, Nathan comes over to me, or went over to my lawyer, Bob Costello, and said, Fanny would like to meet with me because she's always admired me upstairs. I go upstairs, we meet with her, very pleasant conversation, we walk out. And Bob, who's one of the best lawyers I know, but he's not perfect, said to me, well, she'll never indict you. She really admires you so much. I said, bullshit. You can't spot a bullshit artist.
Come on, Bob.
I didn't know they were lovers then. I should have figured it out when I went. Did I know by the time I got indicted? I don't think so, because I remember walking to get my fingerprints and photographs. They did it differently than for anybody else, so that the Trump people, including the future president of the United States, would have to walk through 2 cells of prisons.
Isn't that amazing?
So you walked in the detention center. Here's the entrance. And then you walk this way, and on each side were prisoners. You turn around like this to go that way. prisoners. Then you get to the office where they do fingerprinting and photographing. You could have come in the back, right into there. Now, you were with me, but you weren't allowed in.
I couldn't get in. I believe did Bernie get in? They let Bernie go in with you? I believe, and Bernie may have had, he knew some folks down there.
Bernie, yeah, Bernie did come in. They all liked Bernie because Bernie was the head of corrections.
Yeah.
And everybody in corrections knew Bernie Kerry.
Hey, Bernie got in there.
And we were sort of like a stalking horse because the president
Was the next day.
was going to be the next day, and Bernie then briefed them on what was going to happen. And they did the same thing to the president. So I walked past the first group of prisoners. Now, these jackasses don't know. I've been with more prisoners than they can imagine.
Yeah. They wouldn't like you.
And I used to go, I go right into the prison to try to turn people.
But maybe you were fair.
I knew everything about prisons.
Yeah.
I also was in charge of the Federal Bureau of Prisons for 2 years. This was considered by the Democrat administration or the worst prison in America, the Fulton County Jail, run by, I don't know, Fulton County, Georgia could be more corrupt than Philadelphia. There's nothing honest about it. I walk through and I figure, in New York, I always got booed. When I was mayor, because I was tough. When I was U.S. attorney, because I was tough. I'm walking through. All of a sudden, they start cheering for me. And then they start yelling out awful things about her. Sexual kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I think this is before it all came. They might have known about that before it came out. Then I turned the corner and I thought, well, maybe I'll get a different crew of prisoners here. But they heard the ones earlier cheering and they started clapping. And then I went through my photograph and my fingerprinting and my whatever. And when I left, it was just a little more muted because they had already made their thing. And I said, ask the president's people, does he get more applause than I do? He did.
Well, I don't think we were too worried being down there. Here's a picture.
I look really nervous, didn't I?
That looks like a nervous face to
Oh,
me.
there's Bern.
There's Bernie. I'm right behind you. And then there's Bernie right to your...
Who is now in heaven. There's Bernie.
Yeah, you look real nervous, Mayor. You look real concerned. It's like you knew then. It's like you knew then about these prosecutors, and you didn't.
I did not know how crooked they were. I knew how bad the case was.
But it's like you knew.
But I knew the case had to go.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, the counts involving the electors were based on precedent. Kennedy and Nixon did it.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. Nothing illegal about it. Then the rest of what I was charged with, I did as a lawyer. The whole thing with the film. It wasn't my. Somebody gave me.
By the way, we had to revisit this.
Somebody gave me the film, ran it, but I'm charged with doctoring. I never touched it.
And they used that to take away your bar license.
Yeah, and then who doctored it?
Well, we don't know for sure, but we believe
One of two people.
Yes.
Has to either be.
Yes.
It has to either be the Secretary of State of Georgia, Raffensperger, who wants to be governor. Please God, no. And second, the prosecutor, who was a holier-than-thou bullshit artist, working for the Democrat Bar Association, Democrat.
Yeah, that guy.
Who gave me the most unfair trial in existence, including the judge who spent all of her time.
We need to
looking at the.
We got to revisit this.
And then when I put in the doctored tape, wouldn't examine exactly why there was 35, 40 minutes missing. It just happens to be the critical 35 or 40 minutes. And by the way, I have some examples because I kept some of it of what's on that 35 or 40 minutes, and it is significantly incriminating. Oh, there she is. There's Fanny the hoe, and there's her stupid boyfriend. Now, her stupid boyfriend, it took 3.5 hours to ask me basically 5 questions because he's working on, I don't know. I didn't see too many brains. Now, it turns out that Letitia James is in for a little more trouble.
That's right, Mayor.
So Letitia James is being prosecuted for fraud. The difference between the fraud that she charged Trump with and the fraud that she is charged with is she actually created a loss for the government and for the bank. He didn't, because she had 2 homes. If she declared the home in Maryland as a primary residence, she wouldn't have to pay taxes on it. And she got a much lower mortgage rate. So she cheated them out of taxes. And she cheated the bank out of the appropriate mortgage rate because it wasn't her primary residence. It wasn't a residence at all. She was actually renting it. And she doesn't list it as a rental property until later. She was renting it to a relative who, I'll just read you this here, who has a lengthy felony rap sheet, was twice arrested for assaulting police officers.
Can't make this up.
Kind of like her aunt, she hates cops. And at one of her Virginia homes, they found the documents. Nakia, it's her grand niece, Nakia Thompson. She is wanted now for absconding from North Carolina after failing to complete the terms of her parole following a 2011 arrest in Winston-Salem. In that case, she was charged with malicious conduct by a prisoner, a felony, along with assault of a government official and resisting a public officer. She's also been repeatedly arrested with possession of burglary tools, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and grand larceny. Since 2020, Thompson has been living at a house owned by James in Norfolk, which is now at the center of a criminal indictment.
You can't make this up.
9 separate vehicle offenses. Oh, who cares, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those things where everything else coming out, throw that in there.
So she convicts herself because in one case, she says she lives there. It's a primary residence. At the same time, she's declaring New York, where she's the attorney general, as a primary residence. And then she says it's a rental property when she can get a break in New York by saying it's a rental property. So let me just say to Letitia the felon, no one is above the law.
That's right. And I mean, those are words. I remember somebody else using those words.
Did you know that your tenant was a career criminal? I don't know. You want to take a look if she got a cut?
There she is. That's the home.
That's the home. That's the tenant. Unless she was living with her.
It's tough to be Attorney General of the state of New York from her home in Virginia. How far is Virginia from New York?
Oh, it's a 5-hour drive. But also, I wonder why she isn't being prosecuted in New York. If that wasn't, you have to be a resident of New York to be Attorney General.
Where's Elvin Bragg? Where's Fat Bragg when you need him?
Fat Bragg lives in New Jersey. You know that. Oh, they all cheat like hell.
That was good.
Fat Bragg never appears, right?
No, you never see
He's going to win re-election. Nobody's even going to know that he's the reason they're getting thrown on subways tracks.
He's the one letting out all these criminals.
He's also the one that destroyed Adams, because if Adams had gotten rid of him, Adams could have really done something about crime.
Right. That's another good point. Wow.
So let's very quickly look at the races.
Yes.
That we're going to follow.
We love
intently. Which one do you want to? Why don't
you tell me, Mayor? What you got in front of you?
The one that I really find the most amazing, and this is not one of the races we're going to follow. This is a California mayor who admitted embezzling funds from a church, attempting suicide on her birthday last month.
Not laughing at that part, but the rest of it.
I don't think she attempted suicide. Bullshit.
Oh, I see what you're thinking. That's just a BS.
Attempted suicide. She's trying to get away with going to jail. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't think you were cut out to be an assistant.
I was going to say, Mayor, you caught out of that. I'm sitting here.
What about Jay Jones, the poster boy for the Democrat Party?
Oh my! Is he still on the ticket?
Of course he's on the ticket. Why wouldn't they want him on the ticket? Shall we read a little of Jay Jones?
Let's do it. Let's get some of that up there. I'm trying to find a nice picture of him to put up alongside here.
You want to get a picture of Jay Jones? Yeah. No, we don't need a picture of Jay Jones. Just let's put up the good stuff. I think you have it.
Yep, I have it. So Jay Jones, as we all know,
He's running for attorney general on a ticket with a lieutenant governor who, lieutenant governor, is there a question with her citizenship?
no, I don't think there's a question about her loyalties.
Oh, she has that. Oh, she's like Bad Bunny.
Mhm.
She has a flag upside down.
Right.
She gives a speech with the flag upside down.
And
And she wants to be a lieutenant governor with an attorney general that wants to see some of his opponents killed. And when confronted with it, as are you serious or not, he insisted he is. So that's two parts of the ticket.
here's the text.
We're going to get to the top of the ticket in a minute.
Here's
So-
Jay Jones
Okay,
when
now-
being confronted with his sick. We should show the previous one too, where he's talking about gunning down a family, and someone just gives him a chance to back out, right?
But you weren't. What did that say?
You weren't simply asking questions, and you know it. And he claims I
I
genuinely was.
generally was. I wasn't attacking you. I was trying to understand your logic.
You weren't, and then the person responds, you weren't trying to understand. You were talking about Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. You were talking about hoping Jennifer Gilbert's children would die. And instead of saying, I
Yes,
didn't mean that,
I've told you this before. Only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy.
so that's him literally saying,
People should-
clarifying,
A
yes,
couple
I
people
want.
die and we can change
Yes.
policy.
He's
And
literally.
what was the earlier statement?
Let's get the earlier one, but that's damning enough.
There are more. We're just
Yeah.
playing it.
But think about that, folks. I mean, so let's find another one. This is the earlier. Okay, this is a little bit more here, and I'll read so you can see it, Mayor, and so our audience can see it.
He also has one where he says that the former GOP House Speaker deserves 2 bullets in the head.
3 people. This is Jay Jones speaking. If those people die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. And the person responds, Jay Jones, which you can imagine the person saying, stop, Jay Jones, right? Jay Jones continues, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, that's the conservative state legislature he's referring to. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. He says, Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Wow. And if you don't consider Hitler and Pol Pot the 2 worst people, he clarifies and makes sure you understand what he's saying. This is Jay Jones. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time.
There isn't a single Democrat calling for his removal from the ticket in order to be the chief law enforcement officer of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Tell me the party is not sick. Tell me it doesn't have a sickness. This is not partisan. This is about life and death. People are getting killed. People are getting killed. Many people believe because of the heated up rhetoric. Come on. When's the last time you heard a Proud Boy say that? Oh, the rhetoric is coming from these bastards. All of it. Now, there was a debate between Abigail Spanberger and an absolutely fabulous candidate, Winsome Earl Sears, who doesn't have the money she has. And she's attacked because she's a Republican who's done a fabulous job with the governor. And during the debate, may have turned things because Spanberger was spastic. And she was mostly spastic because, like word salad Kamala, she couldn't figure out how to answer the question. So do we have that?
Yep. So this is
This is Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears. And it begins, Abigail, when are you going to take Jay Jones and say to him, you must leave the race?
right.
He has said he wants to murder his political opponent. And not only that, his opponent's children.
Right.
Spanberger remained
And we're going to play the clip.
silent.
We're going to play the clip
She
right
remained silent.
now. Let's play the clip. This is Winsome Sears. Great job.
The trigger, is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Miss Earl Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right? Have some political courage. What you have done is you are taking political calculations about your future as governor. Well, as governor, you have to make hard choices, and that means telling Jay Jones to leave the race.
Donate money to Winsome Sears. They've already had early voting there in Virginia. The other one, was polling at about a 9.8 point lead. I don't understand why. You look at her. I mean, of course, she didn't say anything, which I can't imagine at a debate being told about what your running mate did and thinking you can get away with remaining silent unless you think the Democrats are fools. You must think your electorate, Spanberger, is stupid. And I also detected a little shitty smile on your face, too. I mean, you're not exactly a looker, but I did see a little smile on your face. So what? I mean, for 4 years, is she going to do a Biden and not answer any questions? Suppose they say you're going to raise taxes, Governor.
What a great, this should have an effect on common sense voters, right? Either despite what
there got to be something seriously wrong with you.
You can sit there like that.
If you there got to be something seriously wrong with the electorate in a state if you elect something like that.
Right. The fact that she just sits there.
Now, what is she writing down?
Right. Nothing. Like
she's writing
one of
down
those tricks, right? Like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Just
she's
ignore.
Writing down. My campaign consultant told me to say nothing.
Bingo. She was told.
My campaign consultant told me to say nothing.
Don't react. Don't look at her. Definitely don't look at her. Look straight ahead. Straight face. Oh, she's smiling.
Little smile.
I shouldn't have done that.
See the little shit smile?
Yeah. But you're right, Mayor. You're spot on. Of course, you've been through this many times. She was told in debate. We're pretty certain, right? She was likely told in debate prep how to handle this question.
Yeah. The other one, Winsome Sears, is capable of answering any question you want. She's an extraordinarily smart woman. She's been lieutenant governor. And she's a decent woman. That is not a decent person. When you can stand there and grin about a candidate who's talking about children being murdered for political reasons,
killing little kids, and doubling down on it,
and given a chance to withdraw it like he was kidding, and he didn't.
Right. He doubled down. He explained. At
a time in which we've got sort of an epidemic of political violence, including a president that was almost murdered twice, and his close associate and supporter murdered by people that were of your political persuasion and overwrought based on the unbelievably insane, incendiary comments right in your own state. They almost murdered a Supreme Court justice at the request of Governor Jewish traitor Schumer. I mean, Schumer is one of the more despicable human beings in America, not just I'm embarrassed that he's a New Yorker. The way he turned on the Jewish people should not be forgotten. It's the reason why he's not going to, he's all worried about AOC beating him. I think almost anybody could beat him. To my Jewish friends in New York, if you vote for him, man. To my friends in New York who love Israel as much as Jewish people do, like me, if you vote for him. And to any intelligent person in New York, if you vote for him, be out of your effing mind. He's been in Congress forever and he's done zero. He's done shit. The one thing he did do, I helped him do, and he repudiates it, the 1994 crime bill, him and Biden. And he repudiates it. He loves me because I once called him a jackass in a debate in a private home because he was a senator. He didn't think I could call him a jackass.
I wish I was there.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, the new poll.
Well, he didn't come near me because he was afraid I'd punch him in the mouth. I mean, this was a guy, and he gave us wiener. I mean, all these guys, the great coaches, have great football coaches that come from them, right?
Right.
Yeah. The ridiculously awful politicians have ridiculously even worse politicians come from them. So
Right.
It's like the genealogy in the Bible.
It's like in the good ones.
But he spawned Wiener the pervert.
Unlike you, I mean, your acolytes ended up being president of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, but
U.S. Attorney General.
Yeah, but I have a couple.
Should we not? Okay. Was that not? Hey, I don't know that. I only know the good ones.
Just know the good ones. Okay. So I have so many things here. I can't do them all. But you got Democrats encouraging killers. They literally are encouraging killers. You got transgender people murdering people left and right. And then you have ones that murder people and then become transgender. So this guy, he's a guy because he's got a, you know what? So to me, he's a guy. Nicholas Sophie Roski attempted to kill Justice Kavanaugh at the request of Chuck Schumer, who several weeks before said that they were going to release the whirlwind on him. This is about as close as you get, you know, where you can say political rhetoric resulted in the crime, right?
Right.
So this guy then turns into a transgender thing. Now, I don't know. Is he transgender or is this some kind of because he got a very, very light sentence.
Right.
Because the judge felt sorry for him. Judge didn't feel sorry for her fellow justice who might have been killed or the children that might have been killed.
But
she was worried about the transgender guy.
What is wrong with
it? And what they're doing with ICE, I mean, you're gonna go to I know you will, please. You're gonna go to you're gonna go to Lindell TV, okay? And you're going to watch the Dr. Maria show. And on the Dr. Maria show, you're going to see a lot of the stuff that would have been on this show, except we didn't have time for it. And I substituted for Dr. Maria. So don't be scared if you see me there, even though I usually send you there so you can be pleasantly surprised seeing the comely Dr. Maria. Instead, you're going to see Frightened Face, but you got some good stuff. And you'll also
great interview.
You'll also see a great interview with an expert on the border, and
we go over some of the major stories. We'll be talking about
the particular focus on ICE and how they are, and they have to know they're going to get people killed. Tim Walz, communist Tim Walz, Gavin Newsom, who went and kissed the ring of the murderer Xi Jinping, and Fatso Pritzker have called ICE modern-day Gestapo, authoritarian, and Nazis. And a disturbed guy went and started shooting up an ICE agent in Dallas. I wonder why.
That's right. So head on over. It just kicked off, LindellTV.com.
Jay Jones is texting out demented fantasies about his political foes' children being shot to death in their mother's arms. This is the Democrat Party. And then, of course, we've got Luigi Mangione, the hero of the left, as well as the people who were cheering Charlie Kirk's murder. Well, we'll see. The Democrat Party in Virginia now solidly stands for political violence and murder. Since Jay Jones is high on the ticket and all of them, by their silence, consent. And the party itself is going around constantly advocating violence, and it's got to stop. And it is not both parties. It's the ones that are heavily influenced by the Islamic extremists and the Red Chinese, and the one who had a president who took 31 million from murderous Red China. Well, on that happy note, we're going to tell you all to have a great evening. Go over to Lindell TV, and we'll be following up on all of this. And we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see what happens if any steps are taken to make sure that that peace agreement remains solid. Pray for the people of Israel, please. Pray for the people of Ukraine. I think Friday there's going to be a meeting with Zelensky that we'll see what's happening there. And pray for the people of Iran, because things may be moving. Pray for the people of America and for our president. God bless America.
Democrat delays. There are delays at the airport. That's standard. And again, this is something that every day we put forth a bill. It's just a continuation. It's a very simple thing to sign and very simple to do. And I really think that these are people that I think they have nothing to lose. They have a party that's out of control. They have no leader. Nobody knows who the leader is. I look at people with very low IQs like Crockett, this woman Crockett. I never met her, but she's a low IQ individual. I look at AOC talking about how if they want to negotiate, they can come to my office. She's not in that position to do that. And who the hell is she to say that? And then I watch Nancy Pelosi not knowing what to do. I watch their leadership. Look, Schumer is petrified of primary because he's not going to win probably against anybody in a primary. You know, Schumer did the right thing, but he handled it badly originally a year ago. He did probably the right thing, but he handled it badly. I think Schumer is incapable of making a deal. They are a mess. They're a party that has no leadership. They have, and they have no policy. You know, I think we have great leadership, but we also have great policy. We have strong borders. We have no men and women's sports. I mean, basic things. We're not going to take your child away and change the sex of your child. We're not going to do things like that. What they're doing to the country is so incredible. And they got away with it with all their woke crap, and now it's stopped. And we have a country that's based on common sense and strength and intelligence. I mean, we have the United States of America, and I say it all the time. Other leaders have told me this. Mark hasn't yet, but I think he would. A year ago, we were a dead country, and now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Maybe Canada. I'll give Canada, but because I do like Canada. But you know, we're the hottest country in the world right now. There's never been a country that has the kind of money coming into it. There's never been anything like this. There's never been a country that if you take $1 trillion, that would be unbelievable. We're going to have over $20 trillion invested in this country. There's never been anything like what you're seeing, and it's based on good policy and common sense and leadership.
It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk, we're able to analyze. We are able to apply